How is it going, everyone? We have another big Crimson Desert update to go over in this video. We got the features overview number 2 video. This is the second of 3 features overview videos that will be released for Crimson Desert. And let me just start off by this. I talk about game promotion on this channel a lot, talk about how games are marketed and how the advertising, trailers, all that is handled. Crimson Desert is another one of those games. Please use this as a case study on how to properly market a game. And not only do I think they are doing an incredible job with these features overview videos, because what has been a part of that rhetoric that's attached to Crimson Desert? It looks too good to be true. Well, at a certain point, once you see so much of a game in execution, once you see it all cohesively working together, you're like, wait a second. Yes, a lot of this does look too good to be true, but I've seen too much of this game at this point where it has to be true. That's how you buck that idea. And then on top of that, to go a little bit glaze mode, Will Powers, he is the PR guy of this game that has been doing a lot of interviews. Also came to my attention, he is in fact the guy that won the Tester Season 1, which is just hilarious to me because I was a wee lad, maybe 12, 13 years old when the Tester Season 1 came out. And I remember watching those episodes. You were downloading them off the PlayStation Network, and I was watching interviews, and I'm like, Will Powers? Isn't that the dude from the Tester? I literally remember that, and now this guy may be the best PR guy in all of gaming in the sense that he actually talks to you like you're a human being. You understand what he's saying, and yes, there's gonna be a little bit of PR speak whenever you're watching interviews and things of that nature, and his job is to get people aware about the game. I'm sure it's a little bit mundane for him to answer the same questions a billion times, but guess what? He actually communicates with you like a real person. And a lot of the times when it comes to video game marketing, I feel like we don't get that. So I give a lot of credit. It's not like Crimson Desert is the only game that does this, but in terms of promotion, this game has just been handled flawlessly, and you look at the excitement level of this game 6 weeks ago, where a lot of people were excited for this game that knew about it 6 weeks ago, to what they've done now. That is what you do with game promotion. That is how this thing is supposed to be handled. That is how you get people aware. And again, they've done an excellent job. I'll go over some other insights as well outside of the features overview video, some of those interviews with Will Powers. One in particular, little bit of a speculation from me, but I just found it pretty interesting. We'll get to that as far as PlayStation 5 Pro goes. And before we get into this video, do remember that if you want to pick up Crimson Desert on PC, our friends over at Green Man Gaming have got the game discounted. Use the code FEB15 and you'll save 15% on the game. And you'll get the base game for $59.49. You'll get the deluxe edition for $67.99. You'll get a Steam key for the game. You just redeem the code on Steam and you'll be good to go. You don't pay tax either, so you save even more. Link in the description box below, and if you do buy it, we get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. But yes, the second features overview video was all about combat and progression, and it showcased a lot of the different gameplay mechanics and the depth that you are going to have. You're obviously going to have a lot of different weapons at your disposal and different weaponry you can utilize in combat, and each weapon is going to have its own advantages and disadvantages, so you're going to switch back and forth. And beyond just the weapons, there are going to be other abilities that you can utilize, things like the Azuna drop just in this game. Shout out to Ninja Gaiden. We've also seen gameplay footage of the RKO being pulled out, which I just think is absolutely hilarious. But powerful weapon skills can also be used in conjunction as a range of grapples to create seamless chains of attacks against a wide variety of enemies as you do play the game. Elemental enhancements are going to further expand your options by empowering key abilities on top of that, and some of the combat and melee mechanics also look incredibly interesting in terms of chaining them together. And also, obviously, with a game like this, it is incredibly satisfying to look at from a visual standpoint, and the option and the depth you're going to have to the gameplay, the ability to combine weapons and chain skills the way you want to forge your own approach in how you want to handle the combat. Your mobility and timing is also going to be a big factor in combat. Slides, dodges are going to be available to you, and how you chain those together with counters and swings flow directly into attacks, keeping you mobile and with a lot of options. And then you've also got options for grappling and swinging as well, chaining that into a separate attack. There's a lot of options in the gameplay, and while this is an open world sandbox for you you to explore, it seems like the combat is a sandbox in its own right where you can chain together all of these different weapons and abilities, and the combat has a level of depth that I don't think we see a lot out of a open world title. Think about open world games, like sometimes they are pretty static in the combat offerings. This looks to have a lot of variance and a lot of depth to it, and a lot of that comes from chaining together the different weaponry. You're also going to have other equipment that you're going to be able to utilize in combat, but as far as the combat itself goes, it looks to be incredibly explosive, and they use the term endlessly expressive, and I think that comes down to all of the different combos you'll be able to utilize. And then progression was highlighted as well. As far as how you're going to evolve the skills, they won't all be available from the start. Of course, this is an action RPG, and developing the skills is going to be a big component of the game. Cliff is usually shown in these videos at a greater height of his power, wielding a wider range of devastating skills than what's going to be available right off the bat. But when you awaken in the beginning of the game, you start from scratch with a more limited set of abilities and equipment, and throughout the game, you'll get all of the abilities that have been showcased. The core part of your journey in Pywell is the transformation from a survivor into a truly formidable Greymane, and you decide how that progression is going to be taking place and what upgrades you want to focus on. You'll acquire artifacts throughout the game that are going to be tied to your upgrades, and those are fragments of the abyss that have fallen to the world below through quests, combat, and exploration. They lie at the end of many trials in the possession, giving you reason to do a lot of the optional content and activities. Powerful bosses and hidden across Pywell, including up in the abyss, are where they're going to be available, and acquiring these artifacts will be crucial to your progression as they enable you to increase core stats like health and stamina, unlocking new skills for more skill chaining potential, enhance existing ones, thereby increasing your combat and exploration capabilities. Some skills and upgrades cannot be obtained through artifacts alone, however, and they need to be observed firsthand throughout in the world, and then you'll have the option of acquiring them as well. And how you want to do the upgrades are going to be up to you. If you want to up your stamina, run and glide around the world longer to explore, you could do that, or you might want to unlock and upgrade all the diverse grappling skills that are going to be at your disposal. I see, like, all these wrestling moves being pulled out in the gameplay. German suplexes. I think I saw an angle slam in there. All right, we're getting a little bit wild with the grapples that are available. Deciding which skills you want to combine and how you decide the direction of your progression by considering your playstyle, that's going to be all your decision making. Learning and mastering your skills is important to winning battles. The equipment that you're going to be utilizing also is going to be just as crucial and gonna help you throughout your battle. You'll be able to buy, find, and craft the gear that gives you the edge in combat throughout the world, and you'll have all of those options available, and also options to upgrade your equipment for higher stats. Armor and equipment can be found in a wide range of ways. Again, you can buy them through mining and hunting, and defeating powerful bosses as well through quests, and by uncovering them in hidden locations. On top of that, you'll also be able to customize equipment with extra stats and special effects, giving you even more options across Pywell and how you fight the bosses throughout. You'll have signature abilities or granting unique effects and bonuses, so build on the strength that you get through each victory, take down the threats of Pywell, and prove yourself throughout combat as well. And they do note that they're gonna have a final features overview video. Like I said, this is the second of 3 features overview videos, and it has given us so much insight into the game, because that idea, I don't even know if they were trying to tackle the idea of too good to be true, because it's been a talking point, but these feature overview videos being done in conjunction with all of the interviews Will Powers has done, I'm sure the ultimate idea was, yeah, we want to alleviate any concern about the game, and Powers' whole thing about, yeah, the game looks really good, we want you guys to ultimately play the game, and we'll get the game to the hands of people so they can play the game and they'll be able to talk about it. That's like a realistic outlook of the situation. Yeah, you think it looks too good to be true? You'll eventually play it and you'll figure it out for yourself. And again, in these interviews that Powers has done, I just feel like it is a breath of fresh air in a lot of regards, where he's doing these lengthy interviews, he's answering the questions without dodging them. He was asked about performance in several of the interviews, and he said he doesn't want to dodge the question, it's just he doesn't have something with finality to say right now. And okay, that level of transparency is appreciated alongside these feature overview videos that are giving you so much insight into the gameplay. It should be simple, but this is how game promotion should be done. And again, just a masterful job as far as also when they started rolling out the promotion. And now everybody's talking about the game, and it's not like it's a game coming out in 18 months or something like that. Guess what? This is a game that's 6 weeks away at this point, and you are peaking into that excitement level, and by March 19th, people are going to be stoked for this game. I do want to note in one of the interviews done by Luke Stevens, Will Powers did talk about the game and talking about missable moments in the game, reminding him of Elden Ring, noting, I don't want to compare it specifically to any one game, but that particular element reminded me a lot of my own experience in Elden Ring. After I beat Elden Ring, I was looking online because I don't want any spoilers while I'm playing a game, and someone talked about the town of the living pots. This was the most moving thing for this particular writer that he experienced in the game. I never even found that place. Like, this is a huge thing. It was the most important, most impactful thing that he saw, and I didn't even know it was there. It was that for me. That was my experience where I was like, oh my god, I just didn't do this quest line because it wasn't overt. It was the one quest that started in one place and that started the path for this quest, and I just never took the first step, and the guides you to a whole new area. It unlocks your ability to visit the area. Without that quest line, you're forbidden to enter this area. You get thrown out. Your own personal path and progression can change the areas you explore, and ultimately your experience with the game, which I find to be really cool, especially in a game with a set storyline, plot, and ending. Each player's experience can be drastically different. I think that's highlighted based on the progression path as well and how you decide to handle that. In that sense, it's very much similar to Elden Ring. When you're talking with a friend, it's like, oh my god, you didn't do this? That's where I think this game really sings for me. I will say, this is totally personal. Elden Ring, I thought it was a little bit wild with how much stuff you could miss. I get that a lot of people do really like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking about it from a personal lens. Elden Ring, getting to the end of the game, it's just so easy to miss so many different quest lines and things of that nature that I think Elden Ring pushes it, from my personal standpoint, a little bit too far as all of the missable content and the absolute necessity that if you do want to do everything, you kind of need to look at a guide unless you're so, like, trying to just meticulously go through everything in that game. Elden Ring's a wild one as far as that's concerned, so I hope Crimson Desert from a personal standpoint is a little bit dialed back from that, but we shall see. I will also say, in the interview with Destin Liguri, when he was asked about PlayStation 5 Pro enhancements, he did note with a very, very overt smirk that PlayStation 5 Pro enhancements, they have the label on the PS5 Pro. Just with the tonality of how this is presented, I want to believe that PSSR 2.0 is a big part of this. As somebody with a PS5 Pro and this being a very ambitious game, I would hope that this is going to be a game that PSSR, the upgraded release, is going to be a big showcase for it, and that would go in line with why they aren't talking about specifics. Obviously, still in the optimization phase, but if PSSR 2.0, or whatever it's called, is going to get revealed and come out by the end of this month, what better game as a showcase title than Crimson Desert for that? So let's hope that comes to fruition as well. But that's going to do it for me. Again, the anticipation for Crimson Desert is reaching a fever pitch at this point, and I think it's just gonna grow and grow as we get closer to March 19th, and hopefully with this being their own engine, this game does really well. I think this game is going to crush it from a commercial standpoint, and it'll pave the way for more open world games to be done by the team, as it is a separate team than the Black Desert team. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Let me know your excitement level for Crimson Desert. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.